Purpose of social control: maintain order, stability, and conformity within society by regulating behavior. Informal social control: unwritten rules and norms enforced by social interactions and peer pressure. Folkways, mores, customs. Folkways are everyday habits, mores are moral norms, and customs are traditional behaviors. Religion's role in social control: 5 ways: moral guidance, instilling values, fostering social cohesion, providing a moral code, and influencing behavior through rituals. Formal social control: law, enforced by legal systems to regulate behavior for the greater good. Reasons to follow law: 4. Maintain order, protect individual rights, ensure justice, and promote social harmony. Education's role: 4. Skill development, socialization, cultural transmission, and preparing individuals for societal roles. State's role: 4. Ensure security, provide public services, administer justice, and maintain social order. Social deviance: behavior diverging from societal norms. Deviance and social control: society's response to deviance, seeking to maintain conformity. Methods of social control: internal, self-regulation; external, outside forces; informal, unwritten rules; formal, laws. Internal social control: self-regulation of behavior based on internalized norms and values. Earliest agent of social control: family and close-knit communities, influencing behavior through relationships and informal expectations. Later agents of social control: schools, religious institutions, and legal systems that become more prominent in regulating behavior as individuals move beyond family influence. External social control: regulation of behavior by external entities, such as institutions, authorities, or the legal system. Informal social control: unwritten rules and norms enforced through social interactions, peer pressure, and informal sanctions. Formal social control: explicit rules and laws enforced by official authorities to maintain order and regulate behavior. Semi-formal social control: mix of formal and informal elements, often seen in community-based or organizational regulations that are not strictly legal but have some official standing. Roles in developing social control: school: 10. Instill discipline, teach norms, promote teamwork, cultivate respect, foster responsibility, encourage punctuality, deter deviance, build character, shape values, and prepare for societal roles. Roles in developing social control: teacher: 10. Mentorship, role modeling, guidance, moral education, rule enforcement, conflict resolution, instilling values, promoting empathy, fostering a positive classroom environment, and encouraging critical thinking. Teachers as social change agents, catalysts for positive societal transformation through education and influence. Human Rights Chapter. What are human rights? Human rights are inherent rights and freedoms that every individual possesses, regardless of nationality, ethnicity, gender, or any other status. They are considered fundamental to human dignity and are protected by international law. International human rights law. This body of law consists of various treaties, conventions, and agreements at the international level, aimed at safeguarding and promoting human rights globally. Universal Declaration of Human Rights, UDHR, adopted by the United Nations in 1948, the UDHR is a milestone document that outlines a common standard of human rights for all people. International Bill of Human Rights, comprising the UDHR, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICPR, and the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, ICSCR. This trio forms the International Bill of Human Rights. Economic, social and cultural rights. These rights encompass the right to education, health, work, and an adequate standard of living, emphasizing the socio-economic aspects of human well-being. Civil and political rights. These rights pertain to political and civil liberties, such as freedom of expression, assembly, and the right to a fair trial. Universalism versus relativism. Universalism asserts that human rights are applicable universally, while relativism suggests that cultural, social, or political contexts may influence the interpretation and application of these rights. Constitutionalism and citizens' responsibilities. Constitutionalism emphasizes adherence to a constitution, ensuring government accountability. Citizens' responsibilities include respecting laws and participating in civic activities. Duties and responsibilities as a sensible citizen. Being informed, voting responsibly, respecting others' rights, and contributing to community well-being are essential duties for a responsible citizen. Public duties and responsibilities. Public duties include upholding the rule of law, participating in public affairs, and contributing to the common good. 10 Human rights in the Constitution of Pakistan. Briefly, right to life and personal liberty, right to fair trial, freedom of speech and expression, right to education, right to health, protection against slavery and forced labor, freedom of religion, right to privacy, right to assembly and association, equality before law and non-discrimination. These rights are enshrined in the Constitution of Pakistan to ensure the protection and well-being of its citizens. Unemployment. It refers to the condition where individuals who are willing and able to work are unable to find employment. Types of unemployment. Frictional unemployment, temporary unemployment due to job transitions. Structural unemployment, resulting from a mismatch between skills and job requirements. Cyclical unemployment, caused by economic downturns. Seasonal unemployment, occurs due to seasonal fluctuations in demand. 10 causes of unemployment. Economic recession, reduced demand for goods and services. Technological advancements, automation leading to job displacement. Globalization, outsourcing jobs to lower-cost regions. Mismatched skills, inadequate skills for available job opportunities. Demographic changes, population growth and aging affecting labor market dynamics. Inadequate education, lack of access to quality education and vocational training. Labor market discrimination, unfair employment practices based on gender, race, or other factors. Government policies, regulations affecting business operations and employment. Financial crisis, economic instability impacting businesses and job creation. Natural disasters, disruptions to economic activities causing job losses. 10 ways to eliminate unemployment. Job training programs, enhance skills and match workforce with industry needs. Economic diversification, develop multiple sectors to create diverse job opportunities. Infrastructure development, stimulate job creation through construction projects. Entrepreneurship support, encourage small business development for local job creation. Labor market reforms, flexible labor laws to adapt to changing economic conditions. Education reforms, align education with industry requirements. Government investment, incentivize industries for job creation through subsidies or tax breaks. Public-private partnerships, collaborate for infrastructure projects and job creation. Social safety nets, implement welfare programs to support the unemployed. Innovation and research, foster industries with high growth potential for job generation. Poverty. Poverty is a condition characterized by the lack of essential resources and opportunities needed to maintain a basic standard of living. Types of poverty. Absolute poverty, lack of resources to meet basic needs. Relative poverty, comparison to the wealth of others in society. 10 causes of poverty. Lack of education, limited access to quality education. Unemployment, insufficient job opportunities. Low wages, inadequate income for a decent standard of living. Health issues, high medical expenses and poor health. Discrimination, social inequalities based on gender, race, or ethnicity. Corruption, misuse of resources and unequal distribution. Overpopulation, strain on resources and job market. Political instability, economic uncertainty due to political factors. Global economic factors, economic downturns affecting developing nations. Environmental degradation, impact on livelihoods due to environmental issues. 10 ways to eliminate poverty. Education access, increase opportunities for quality education. Employment generation, promote job creation and skills development. Living wage policies, ensure fair compensation for work. Universal health care, improve access to affordable health care. Anti-discrimination measures, address inequalities based on gender, race, or ethnicity. Transparent governance, combat corruption and ensure fair resource distribution. Family planning, manage population growth responsibly. Political stability, create a conducive environment for economic growth. Global economic cooperation, fair trade and international assistance. Environmental sustainability, balanced development with ecological preservation. 20 social problems. Poverty, lack of resources for basic needs. Unemployment, insufficient job opportunities. Homelessness, lack of stable housing. Discrimination, unfair treatment based on characteristics. Inequality, disparities in wealth and opportunities. Substance abuse, addiction and its societal impacts. Crime, violations of laws affecting communities. Education disparities, unequal access to quality education. Health disparities, inequities in healthcare access. Environmental degradation, harm to ecosystems and resources. Political corruption, misuse of power for personal gain. Overpopulation, excessive strain on resources. Immigration issues, challenges related to migration. Mental health stigma, negative attitudes toward mental health. Domestic violence, abuse within familial relationships. Bullying, harassment and intimidation. Cybersecurity threats, risks to digital safety and privacy. Human trafficking, exploitative practices against individuals. Access to clean water, limited availability of safe water. Aging population challenges, issues related to an aging society. 20 reasons for social problems. Economic injustice, unequal wealth distribution. Lack of education, insufficient educational opportunities. Limited job opportunities, scarce employment options. Prejudice and bias, discriminatory attitudes and beliefs. Systemic inequality, deep-rooted societal disparities. Addiction, substance abuse and dependence. Socioeconomic factors, impact of economic conditions. Policy failures, inadequate or ineffective regulations. Environmental exploitation, unsustainable resource use. Political instability, unsettled governance conditions. Resource scarcity, insufficient essential resources. Discriminatory laws, unfair legal frameworks. Population pressure, overpopulation challenges. Globalization challenges, complexities of global interconnectivity. Mental health neglect, lack of attention to mental well-being. Cultural norms, influence of societal expectations. Power imbalances, unequal distribution of influence. Technological risks, negative impacts of advancements. Weak legal systems, ineffective or corrupt legal structures. Aging infrastructure, deterioration of societal systems. 20 solutions for social problems. Economic reform, addressing wealth inequality. Accessible education, ensuring education for all. Job creation initiatives, promoting employment opportunities. Diversity and inclusion policies, combating discrimination. Social justice advocacy, supporting equitable systems. Rehabilitation programs, addressing substance abuse. Community empowerment, fostering local resilience. Healthcare access improvement, enhancing medical services. Environmental conservation, sustainable resource management. Good governance, combating political corruption. Sustainable development, balancing growth with sustainability. Anti-discrimination laws, ensuring fair legal frameworks. Family planning education, promoting responsible reproduction. International cooperation, collaborating for global solutions. Mental health awareness, reducing stigma and promoting support. Legal reforms, strengthening and updating legal systems. Cybersecurity measures, enhancing digital security protocols. Human rights enforcement, protecting individuals from exploitation. Water resource management, ensuring clean water access. Elderly care programs, addressing challenges of an aging population. 20 social issues in Pakistan. Poverty, widespread economic disparity. Unemployment, insufficient job opportunities. Illiteracy, limited access to quality education. Healthcare disparities, inadequate healthcare access. Corruption, pervasive in various sectors. Terrorism, threats to national security. Water scarcity, depletion of water resources. Energy crisis, insufficient power generation. Gender inequality, disparities in opportunities. Child labor, exploitation of underage labor. Political instability, periods of governance uncertainty. Ethnic and religious tensions, sectarian conflicts. Environmental pollution, degradation of air and water quality. Population growth, high population growth rate. Urbanization challenges, infrastructure strain in cities. Drug abuse, rising substance abuse issues. Housing shortages, inadequate housing facilities. Social injustice, unequal treatment in society. Media bias, lack of impartial reporting. Human rights violations, issues of abuse and discrimination. 20 solutions for social issues in Pakistan. Economic reforms, addressing wealth inequality. Job creation initiatives, promoting employment opportunities. Education reforms, enhancing access and quality. Healthcare system improvement, strengthening medical services. Anti-corruption measures, enforcing transparent practices. Counterterrorism strategies, enhancing security measures. Water management policies, sustainable use of water resources. Energy sector reforms, investing in diverse energy sources. Women's empowerment programs, promoting gender equality. Child labor laws, strict enforcement against exploitation. Good governance practices, ensuring stability and transparency. Interfaith harmony initiatives, fostering religious tolerance. Environmental conservation, mitigating pollution and promoting sustainability. Family planning education, addressing population growth. Urban planning, managing urbanization challenges effectively. Rehabilitation programs, combating drug abuse. Affordable housing projects, increasing housing availability. Legal reforms for social justice, ensuring equal rights. Media ethics promotion, encouraging unbiased reporting. Human rights education, raising awareness and enforcing protections. Classification, economic problems. Poverty, widespread economic deprivation. Unemployment, insufficient job opportunities. Inflation, rise in the general price level. Income inequality, disparities in wealth distribution. National debt, excessive government borrowing. Trade imbalances, unequal export-import ratios. Budget deficits, government spending exceeds revenue. Corruption, eroding economic efficiency. Economic recessions, periods of economic contraction. Global economic downturns, impact of international economic crises. Political problems, political corruption, misuse of power for personal gain. Political instability, frequent changes in leadership. Dictatorship, authoritarian rule and lack of democracy. Terrorism, threats to national security. Political gridlock, ineffective decision-making processes. Electoral fraud, compromising democratic processes. Human rights violations, abuse and disregard for rights. Secessionist movements, regions seeking independence. International conflicts, diplomatic and territorial disputes. Lack of political accountability, impunity for misconduct. Social cultural problems, discrimination, unfair treatment based on identity. Gender inequality, disparities between sexes. Ethnic and religious tensions, sectarian conflicts. Cultural appropriation, exploitation of cultural elements. Social injustice, unequal treatment in society. Human trafficking, exploitative practices against individuals. Lack of education access, limited educational opportunities. Healthcare disparities, inequities in medical access. Racial prejudice, discrimination based on race. Family breakdown, breakdown of traditional family structures. Environmental problems. Climate change, global temperature rise. Deforestation, depletion of forested areas. Air pollution, contamination of the atmosphere. Water scarcity, depletion of freshwater resources. Loss of biodiversity, decline in species variety. Waste management issues, improper disposal of waste. Soil erosion, degradation of fertile soil. Ocean pollution, contamination of marine ecosystems. Industrial pollution, harmful emissions from industries. Overpopulation, strain on environmental resources. Biological problems. Pandemics, widespread disease outbreaks. Malnutrition, lack of essential nutrients. Epidemics, regional disease outbreaks. Genetic disorders, inherited health conditions. Drug-resistant infections, antibiotic resistance. Zoonotic diseases, transmission from animals to humans. Birth defects, congenital abnormalities. Cancer rates, increasing incidence of cancer. Aging population challenges, healthcare and pension demands. Access to healthcare, inequities in medical services. Psychological problems, mental health stigma, negative attitudes toward mental health. Depression and anxiety, rising mental health disorders. Addiction, substance abuse and dependence. Eating disorders, distorted eating patterns. Suicide rates, increasing rates of self-harm. Trauma and PTSD, psychological distress from trauma. Bullying, harassment and intimidation. Workplace stress, mental health challenges at work. Social isolation, lack of meaningful social connections. Emotional abuse, harmful behaviors in relationships. Social action CHP, 10 social actions. Community service, volunteering for the benefit of the community. Protest marches, collective demonstrations to express dissent. Political activism, engaging in activities to influence political change. Online advocacy, using digital platforms for social causes. Charity work, providing assistance to those in need. Consumer boycotts, refraining from supporting certain products or companies. Advocacy campaigns, promoting awareness and change on specific issues. Civic engagement, active participation in community affairs. Petitions, collecting signatures to support a particular cause. Social entrepreneurship, creating businesses with a social impact. Social action. Definition: social action refers to purposeful, intentional human behavior aimed at bringing about social change or addressing societal issues. Types of social actions. Traditional/rational action, driven by customs or rational considerations. Value rational action, motivated by a belief in the inherent value of the action. Effectual action, guided by emotions or feelings. Instrumental action, calculated means to achieve a specific end. Direct and indirect social actions. Direct action, immediate, visible efforts to address an issue. Indirect action, initiatives that work through existing systems or structures. Steps of social action. Identification of issue, recognizing a societal problem. Research and analysis, gathering information about the issue. Strategy development, planning the approach to address the problem. Implementation, executing the action plan. Evaluation, assessing the impact and effectiveness. Characteristics of social control. Normative influence, guidance through societal norms. Power dynamics, authority enforcing conformity. Preventive in nature, aims to avoid deviant behavior. Socialization, transmitting societal values and norms. Hierarchy of control, various levels of influence and authority. Elements of social action. Purpose, clear goal or objective. Intentionally, deliberate and conscious effort. Collective nature, often involves group participation. Change orientation, aims for social transformation. Conscious choice, voluntary and informed decision-making. Export. Definition: export refers to the sale and shipment of goods and services produced in one country to buyers in another country. Top 10 exports of Pakistan, approximate values in USD. Textiles and apparel, $14 billion, major markets, USA, EU, China. Rice, $2 billion, key buyers, Middle East, Africa. Leather products, $874 million, major markets, EU, USA. Chemicals and pharmaceuticals, $2.5 billion, key markets, USA, EU. Sports goods, $318 million, major buyers, USA, Australia. Cotton, $1.5 billion, key buyers, China, Vietnam. Fruits and vegetables, $730 million, major markets, UAE, Saudi Arabia. Fish and seafood, $451 million, key buyers, Middle East, Southeast Asia. Machinery, $1.3 billion, major markets, USA, China. IT and software services, $2.5 billion, major clients, USA, EU. Import. Definition: import is the purchase and reception of goods and services from foreign sources. Top 10 imports of Pakistan, approximate values in USD. Petroleum and petroleum products, $13 billion, main suppliers, Middle East, Saudi Arabia. Machinery, $7 billion, major sources, China, USA. Electrical machinery and equipment, $6 billion, key suppliers, China, Malaysia. Plastic and plastic products, $2 billion, major sources, China, UAE. Edible oil, $4 billion, main suppliers, Malaysia, Indonesia. Iron and steel, $3 billion, key sources, China, Russia. Palm oil, $1.2 billion, main suppliers, Malaysia, Indonesia. Medical and surgical instruments, $1.6 billion, major sources, USA, Germany. Mobile phones and accessories, $2.5 billion, key suppliers, China, South Korea. Automobiles, $2 billion, major sources, Japan, South Korea. It's important to note that these figures are approximate and may vary based on the latest trade data and economic conditions. Definitions. Poverty. Poverty is a state of deprivation where individuals lack basic necessities for a minimum standard of living, often measured by income level. Literacy. Literacy is the ability to read and write, a fundamental skill that empowers individuals and contributes to personal and societal development. Illiteracy. Illiteracy is the opposite of literacy, indicating a lack of ability to read and write, posing barriers to education and opportunities. Child labor. Child labor involves the exploitation of children through any form of work that deprives them of their childhood, interferes with their ability to attend regular schools, and is mentally, physically, socially, or morally harmful. Women harassment. Women harassment refers to any unwelcome behavior targeting women, encompassing verbal, physical, or psychological abuse, violating their rights and well-being. Human rights. Human rights are inherent and universal rights and freedoms to which all individuals are entitled, regardless of race, gender, nationality, or other factors. Active citizen. An active citizen is someone who engages in civic activities, participates in the community, and advocates for positive social change. Duties of citizens. Duties of citizens include obeying laws, paying taxes, participating in civic duties, and respecting the rights and interests of others in the community. Good citizen. A good citizen actively contributes to the well-being of society, respects the rule of law, and promotes positive values and behavior. Social action. Social action involves deliberate efforts to bring about social change, addressing issues like poverty, inequality, and injustice. Steps of social action. Steps include identifying an issue, raising awareness, organizing, mobilizing support, implementing strategies, and evaluating outcomes. Types of social action. Types include individual actions, for example, charity, grassroots movements, advocacy, and policy changes aimed at societal improvement. 10 social problems in Pakistan: poverty, illiteracy, political instability, corruption, religious extremism, water scarcity, healthcare access, gender inequality, environmental degradation, and inadequate infrastructure. Political social problem. Political instability refers to the persistent changes and uncertainties in governance, hindering economic and social progress. Cultural social problem. Cultural discrimination involves biases based on cultural differences, impacting social cohesion and equal opportunities. Psychological social problem. Mental health stigma is a psychological social problem, leading to discrimination and inadequate support for individuals with mental health conditions. Biological social problem. Diseases like malaria can be a biological social problem, affecting communities and hindering development. Economic social problem. Income inequality is an economic social problem, creating disparities in access to resources and opportunities. Social deviance. Social deviance refers to actions, behaviors, or attributes that violate social norms, often leading to negative reactions or sanctions from society. Norms. Norms are established rules or expectations within a society that guide and govern the behavior of its members. Culture tradition. Cultural tradition encompasses the customs, rituals, and practices passed down through generations, shaping the identity and behavior of a community. Values. Values are the fundamental beliefs and principles that guide individuals or societies in evaluating what is right or wrong, desirable or undesirable. Ethnicity. Ethnicity pertains to shared cultural characteristics, including language, religion, and ancestry, which contribute to a sense of identity among a group of people. Job. A job is a specific position of employment undertaken for monetary compensation. Salary. Salary is a fixed regular payment received by an employee for their work, usually on a monthly or annual basis. Employed/unemployed. Employed individuals are those with a job, while unemployed individuals are without a job and actively seeking employment. Wage versus salary versus pay versus income. Wages are usually paid hourly, salaries are fixed payments, pay is a broader term encompassing compensation, and income includes all earnings from various sources. Poverty line. The poverty line is the income level below which a person or a family is considered to be living in poverty. Under the poverty line, individuals or families with income below the defined poverty line are considered to be living under the poverty line. Rich, middle class, poor, categories based on economic status. The rich have substantial wealth, the middle class has moderate income, and the poor have limited financial resources. Homeless. Homeless individuals lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence, often residing in shelters, on the streets, or in temporary accommodations. Social control. Social control refers to the mechanisms, strategies, and institutions that societies use to regulate individual and group behavior, maintaining order and conformity. Importance of social control. Social control is crucial for preserving social order, preventing deviant behavior, and ensuring the stability and functioning of a society. Formal social control. Formal social control involves explicit rules, laws, and institutions, such as the legal system, that enforce conformity through sanctions and punishments. Informal social control. Informal social control relies on social norms, values, and informal mechanisms like peer pressure and social approval to guide behavior and maintain order without explicit rules or laws.